TeeSpring, Redbubble, or Shopify? Which platform should you sell your merch on and why? In this video, we'll break it all down. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If we don't know each other, my name's Kerry, and we created this channel to bring you the best strategies, secrets, and hacks to grow your online t-shirt, apparel, or print-on-demand business. And I want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. We put out new videos like this one every single Tuesday, and we'd love to have you as a part of the family. As someone who coaches and teaches people how to build online apparel businesses, often the first question people have is, where should I sell on? Should I sell on Redbubble or TeeSpring or Shopify or WooCommerce, BigCommerce, or maybe Teechip or Etsy or Merch by Amazon? There are so many different platforms that you can sell custom merch on these days. So today we're going to look at maybe 3 of the most popular platforms or marketplaces, and we're going to talk about the differences between them. Now, I've picked TeeSpring, Redbubble, and Shopify because I feel like these are probably the top 3 that I get asked about the most, or that I hear people talking about the most and teaching on. And so I want to break down what each platform has to offer and why you should maybe use one or the other, or if you should use one or the other. And what we're going to find is these are 3 very different platforms designed for completely different things. And so let's go ahead and dive into our first platform, which is Redbubble. Let's first talk about kind of what Redbubble is and why you would want to use it. Well, Redbubble is a marketplace, and it's designed for independent artists. So if you're somebody who is creating designs and you want to sell those on merchandise, you can use Redbubble to just upload your designs and sell on any of the products that they offer. And it is all print on demand. All 3 platforms that we're talking about today can utilize print on demand. But selling on Redbubble, they have over 70 products available, and you can simply just upload your design, put it on a product, set your pricing, and start selling. Now, the unique thing about Redbubble is they're a marketplace, and they're going to promote the products to potential buyers for you, right? You don't have to do the marketing, which is the main draw. The reason that I think a lot of people use Redbubble is because you don't have to know how to do email marketing or Facebook ads or any of these things. In theory, Redbubble will go out and promote your items for you. Now, there are some drawbacks with that, which we're going to talk about through this video. The biggest drawback of working with a marketplace like this, we can go to like best-selling t-shirts and start looking at some of the products, is that if your products don't sell, you don't have a way to really promote them yourselves. Sure, you can send your friends and post on social media that you have products for sale on Redbubble, but you can't build an email list and you can't run your own advertising. So it's going to be pretty limited. Now, what you might be thinking is, well, how do I get sales if I can't promote my products? Well, the main way that you get sales is you have to set up your designs in a way that is search friendly. Everything is going to be based off of search. So think of Redbubble like a Google search engine, where you have to create products that are actually searchable. So one of the things that I think is unique about Redbubble, and what you see as you go through a lot of their designs, is they have some really great artists on here. I think it's a very creative platform, and this really makes it stand out from some of the other platforms. It's really not designed for these kind of cheap, if you will, or even simple designs. It's really unique and creative artists that are on here. And so I think it really lends itself to that. If you are somebody who has a lot of great ideas, who really draws your own designs and is really, really creative, I think it could potentially be a great platform for you to use. But the biggest drawback to Redbubble is going to be that you don't have control of your own marketing. You're not building a brand. You're just putting out designs and hoping that they will sell and be popular. And so some people can make a lot of money on that. You can put up a t-shirt that is, a really, really trendy design and potentially get some sales. But you also run the risk of having to put out a lot of different designs just to find 1 or 2 that might make a few sales. And so the majority of people, in my experience, don't make money with this style of marketplace because there is so much competition, and because you're relying on the marketplace to sell your things for you. That being said, I think there's some really, really cool products on here. You can see these stickers, face masks, all kinds of stuff, water bottles. A lot of really cool stuff that you can sell on here. And I think if you're a really creative designer, you don't want to learn the marketing side, this could be a way for you to just drive some extra income with some of your really creative and trendy designs. Okay, next we're taking a look at TeeSpring. Wait, where did they go? What is this? What is Spring? What happened to TeeSpring? Okay, so all joking aside, TeeSpring recently changed their whole company branding and name over to Spring. So they've completely redone themselves. Some of it is good, some of it is bad in my opinion, and I want to talk through kind of what they were and what they are now and why you might want to use them or why you might not want to use them. So TeeSpring was very similar to Redbubble, and they were one of the first platforms that offered this kind of marketplace style where you could just list your designs and they would go sell them for you. And back in the day, you could run Facebook ads and all this kind of stuff. And all of these people were getting rich off of listing their products on TeeSpring, connecting those to a print-on-demand. You know, they have a built-in print-on-demand provider, and they would just make all this money. Over the years, that, you know, isn't all the rage anymore. It's not the thing that everybody is doing. And so TeeSpring has recently rebranded themselves to Spring, and from what I can tell in the research that I've done, they've completely completely changed their entire business model. It's completely different. So, no, don't worry. TeeSpring is actually still here, the old kind of style, but you can definitely tell that they're phasing out their marketplace. And so this is what we get when we land on teespring.com. And, you know, we see sell merch with TikTok, YouTube merch shelf, creators, all this kind of stuff. And as we're going through, we see a few t-shirts, but we don't know how to really access the old version of TeeSpring. Now, luckily, I found it when we click on this Discover button. It's not really clear, though, where it's at. We see this is kind of the old version of TeeSpring, where you have this marketplace similar to Redbubble, where you can go through these different niches. You can find all these different t-shirts and products that are all print on demand that are being listed in the marketplace. But again, as you go through here, you can definitely tell this part looks to be being kind of phased out for the new Spring style. So at this point, if you're wanting to just list your designs on a marketplace a la Redbubble like we just looked at, this is probably not the place to go because, like I said, from what I can tell, this part is going away. Now, the new version of TeeSpring is called Spring, and it's completely different. Now, what Spring is, I'm going to attempt to explain it. It looks like they are really going after the creator crowd. Now, what is a creator? A creator is somebody who might have a YouTube channel or is going viral on TikTok or, you know, on Instagram or any of these places on social media. They're influencers, right? And they're creating content and they have a following or an audience. And so they've changed over to Spring. And, you know, what it looks like to me is they're going after creators and they're allowing these creators to set up a custom store on the Spring platform where they can actually go and market their products. If we click on one of these guys up here, you'll see what I mean. And I'm just going to click on this Sadie girl. So you can see her her little store here. Now, it looks very Shopify. And, you know, right up front, you know, at first glance, I don't know what the big advantage would be to setting up a store on Spring as opposed to setting up a store on Shopify. Personally, I think there are a ton of advantages to going with something like Shopify over Spring, and I'm going to get into those in a minute, but they're really positioning themselves for creators to be this kind of merch solution so creators can make merch and sell to their audiences. Now, there's two things I really want to talk through. We just talked about the custom stores, which we looked at, and here's a few examples. We'll click one more and kind of check it out. So we talked about how you can create a custom store a la Shopify. Now, this is cool to see because this one has a pop-up so you can see that you can actually build an email list. So that's a good sign. But the other way that they're really promoting their product here, this Spring product, is through these social integrations. And this is really cool. You know, I'm a YouTuber. Obviously, I'm doing a YouTube video right here. And so I can use TeeSpring, or I can use Spring. I'm going to keep saying TeeSpring, but I can use Spring to list some merch products on my actual YouTube channel. So they have these social integrations. Right now they have YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, where you can actually sell on the social media platform. You can sell your merch. So I do think that's a really cool advantage. That's not something you're going to be able to do with Shopify, right? So if you are a creator, this might be one thing that will pull you towards Spring as opposed to setting up a simple Shopify store. The last thing is pricing. When you print on demand is built in with Spring, and you can select a number of different products and upload your designs. They also offer digital products, which is really cool. So these are there's all kinds of digital products you can do. Those don't have any cost associated, but you can upload your designs onto merch, and the cost is all included. So if a t-shirt is $10, that includes the fee that Spring takes. They don't take an additional charge or additional fee from what you sell. So I do think that's a really great pricing model, especially for somebody who maybe doesn't want to get into having that monthly kind of price. So just to recap, Spring is really positioned for creators and influencers to build a merch store or use one of the integrations to put their custom merch for their audience on social media such as YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. And they don't take any additional fees outside of what the product cost is. So all the fees are included. So that's what you're looking at with Spring or TeeSpring or whatever you want to call them. Last but certainly not least is the big dog, Shopify. Now, what is the difference between Shopify and TeeSpring and Redbubble? The difference is Shopify is an e-commerce platform where you can build your entire brand, your entire online presence. Everything is hosted here in Shopify. Shopify is a huge company. They've got over 1 million businesses. I think it's actually more like 1.5 million businesses on their platforms. They're actually a massive, massive company. And they're really the go-to solution when you need to build an e-commerce online store. And they're going to have tons of flexibility. You know, if you want something that you're going to have a branded custom domain, and you're going to have the flexibility to add all kinds of different features and really customize your online store, Shopify is definitely the way to go. They're going to manage your payments. You can take payments through here. You can also connect up other payment processors. And one huge advantage is Shopify is really going to be the best platform for print on demand. Why do I say that? You can connect with over 250 print on demand companies in the Shopify app store. And so it's really easy to find a print on demand company and actually start listing your products. And if you don't like one of the print on demand companies, you've got a ton of other options. With these other platforms like Redbubble or Spring, I don't know which print on demand companies they're using. They might be using Printful, or they might have their own print on demand facilities, but you're stuck with them. You don't have a lot of other options, or really any other options to go with if you don't like the quality. You're stuck with that quality. With Shopify, you're going to be able to pick another print-on-demand provider. Here in the Shopify App Store, if we just search print-on-demand provider, we see there's 345 results that come up. There's always new companies popping up. They're all over the world. You don't have to be in the United States. You can pick a UK provider, or Australia, or a number of other places. But there are a ton of options. Now, inside the Shopify App Store, it's not only print-on-demand providers that you can search anything that you want. If we want to upsell people on our website and increase our average order value, we can search upsell, and we're going to find 462 results for apps that will help us upsell our customers and make more money. It's the same thing with email, right? If you want to build an email list so that you can acquire customers much cheaper and sell to your customers much cheaper than paying for ads, we can just type in email marketing, and look, we're going to come up with 701 results in the Shopify App Store to find an email marketing platform. So there are so many options and so much flexibility when it comes to Shopify. This is the full solution for you to build an online e-commerce brand. So the base plan is $29.99 per month. If you use their built-in payment processor, you'll also pay a credit card fee, which is very standard. It's 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. And it's very easy to customize. You don't need to know any code. You don't need to be some kind of techie person. It's pretty easy, and you can get set up with a branded custom Shopify store in probably less than an hour by just jumping in there and getting a 14-day free trial and getting started. I've built many Shopify stores and had them up and making sales before that 14-day trial has even expired. In conclusion, what are my thoughts on all three of these platforms, and which would I recommend that you use? Well, I think you know the answer. I recommend Shopify. Now, the biggest difference, to kind of recap everything, Redbubble is going to be a marketplace. You list your designs, they're going to go and do the marketing for you, and you're not going to have the flexibility of a Shopify to really build your list, build your brand, build your company. You're really just listing designs. Spring is a very cool option, and it's positioned for creators. Those are YouTube creators and influencers, Twitch and Instagram and TikTok. They're going after these influencers on these different social platforms, and it does allow you to create a custom branded store for your merchandise as a creator. And from what we can tell, it also allows you to build up your email list. Now, where it's going to lack is it's not going to have the flexibility, the customization of something like Shopify, and it's not going to have the options and all the features of something like Shopify, and you're going to be pretty much stuck with the print-on-demand provider that is included with Spring, which I believe is just their own print-on-demand provider, but could be a Printful or someone else that they're kind of white labeling. With Shopify, again, this is your full-fledged e-commerce solution for building an online e-commerce brand, and you're going to have the flexibility of the Shopify App Store with millions of apps, hundreds of thousands or millions of apps, and you can work with a number of print-on-demand providers, and you have the options to add additional features and remove and customize almost everything. And so it's going to be your full solution if you're wanting to really build an online e-commerce company. The main reason I recommend going with Shopify is that you're going to be in control of your marketing. You're going to be able to run all the advertising you want. You're going to be able to build your email list. You're going to be able to incorporate things like upsells to make your customers spend more money. And I just think it's the best solution. And when you combine that with just a little bit of training on how to set up a profitable Shopify store, you can get set up in just an hour or two. You can get set up pretty quickly, and you can learn all the things you need to learn to know how to set it up without it being complicated and making it simple, right? So I highly suggest that you go with Shopify. Invest in at least just a little bit of training from an expert that knows what they're talking about so that you can get it built, get a professional store up in just, an hour or two. Have you heard about our brand new Jumpstart print-on-demand program? We just released a brand new course that is only $27. It's the most inexpensive training that we've ever put out, and it's really, really helping a lot of people. At the time of this video, over 600 people have already invested in the Jumpstart print-on-demand program, and you're going to learn a ton inside. I'm just going to put the link down below. It's kerryegeler.com/jumpstart. You're going to learn things like how to choose a profitable niche, how to set up a Shopify store in about 45 minutes, all kinds of different stuff, how to create designs that will actually sell. There is a ton of resources, a ton of training inside there. You can see all the details when you go to that link in the description, kerryegeler.com/jumpstart. We'll see you next week.